What's up, YouTube? We're live. Yes, we are. So, what I'm gonna talk about. I'm just gonna give a little life rant. I'm just gonna talk about my past life experiences. I guess my past. I'm just gonna reflect on my life, reflecting on my past connections with like certain people, how I view life, how I view society in a way. I'm also gonna talk about how I view this world pretty much. I'm gonna talk about like the money restrictions and how like it pretty much it ties a lot of people down. It ties so much people down. I'm also gonna talk about again just shit from a spiritual perspective. I'm gonna talk about spirituality. I'm gonna talk about a lot of stuff. Time speeding up. Why not? It's a Saturday night, and I got nothing going on, so might as well get this speak my thoughts, right? So let's get to it. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with money restrictions. So I feel like, well, obviously we can all relate. I feel like everyone really struggles with this. A lot of people struggle with like money restrictions when it comes to finances and money, right? Everyone struggles with it because it ties us down. It holds us back. So like, you can't, for example, you can't travel around the world without money. You can't meet certain types of people without money. You can't go on dates without money, right? And I'm not saying money's evil or good or anything, but in order for you to make a lot of money, like it's just weird how like some people are born with like, I guess I hate this word, but so I can understand it, other people understand it, like rich, or like some people are born poor, or like there's like a middle class. Just the fact that we have certain classes, like why is it that like we're in 2023 and like we still have people that are homeless, some people that like they're in third world countries, like they don't have any like proper housing or shelter. It's just, I don't know, it's just weird to me. It really is weird. Um and I'm not saying there's a right or wrong way to live life or how life should be or how society should be structured, because at the end of the day, we're never taught how to build stuff on our own. We're not taught how to build housing in our own. And I'm not saying the Matrix is bad or horrible. There are good parts to the Matrix. Like we have access to free stuff where we don't even have to work as much. Like the electronics. We got construction workers. So like the Matrix, it's set up in a good way. But it's the money restrictions pretty much. So I don't know too much about it, but I'm gonna speak on the things I hate about it. Um, Man, it kind of sucks. Where pretty much most people, I want to say everyone, but most people were forced to work at these jobs that we really don't want to be in, but we're forced to work at these jobs because we just have no choice because we're just trying to make money. We're trying to do the best we can so we could provide for our loved ones, provide for our family, and just so we could just live a decent life. But like, are we really living life just by like being forced to go to somewhere that we really don't want to be in? We gotta be forced to be around people we don't want to be in because of money. Is it really worth it? Like, is this going to continue on like pretty much after we die, or before like me and my generation before we die? Are we going to experience a drastic life change? I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. Sorry about that. But yeah, it's just weird how like because it's been going on for a long time. There's money restrictions, money corruption. It's weird, and this is weird how like throughout human history, there's always like wars and battles going on. Like you have like enslavement going on. It's just I always find that strange. There has to be. I mean, I'm sure if you study history, there are answers on reasons why wars and battles take place, but it's just crazy how naturally violent this world could be. You know what I'm saying? There's so much conflict, so much crazy shit that takes place. But it is crazy how much money does restrict us in a way, because again, we're forced to be in certain places and areas that we don't want to be in. Like I've experiences, I know you guys experiences as well, where like you guys had to deal with like shitty people, or like you guys rather not be around certain people at the workplace, but yet you're forced to be around them because of money or because you're trying to make ends meet. But it's just crazy how like a minimum wage job or just any job in general, it's just crazy how much that has so much control in your life, how much that could really dictate how your life is going to be. Because of paper money. You can work at a nice job, getting paid well, you take care of your family, you take care of yourself, be able to live comfortably. But let's just say someone pissed you off or like someone done you wrong, and then you confront that person, then like all hell breaks loose. You get to a fight, you pretty much hurt that person, or like some shit went down in the workplace where like it caused you to act out of character. Then bam, you get fired, or like you don't even show up to work because work. I know, like for example, like my mother, she has to wake up at like 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. every single, well, 5 days a week, just so she could go to work. You know what I'm saying? And she's been doing it for like, I think, like her whole life. You know what I'm saying? And I don't get too much detail, but like it's just too taxing on the body, both physically and emotionally. You know, and I'm just thinking to myself, man, like why does my mom have to wake up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. just so she could go to work? You know, like that's not work. You know, like we're being slaves out here. Like there's no reason why we're being overworked. Why are we in 2023 and we're being overworked? It's slavery. It's slave work. It's some slave shit. Just because of paper money, like this realm we live in, this world is a joke. And this world and this society, it is so responsible on why there's depression, why there's anxiety and stuff. You know, shout out to New My Frame because she does talk about this. Um, Make sure you guys subscribe to her YouTube channel. She has two channels. She has New My Frame and New My Frame Tarot. But I forgot what New My Frame on her main channel. She does mention that like how society, how this world, it pretty much and social media as well, or just this society, this world in general. She mentioned that like just how much it pretty much makes people so depressive and so like negative and angry, which is justified because the world we live in, we're just being controlled by money, and everyone we're forced to do things because of money is not right. And I'm not saying, oh, I have the answers to make this world a better place or the society a better place. I don't know how life will be without money. I think it's called I forgot what's it called. Capitalism? Not capitalism. Yeah, I think capitalism. But there's another word because I think capitalism means where like people are being controlled by money or whatever. And there's another word. I forgot what's it called. Um, Whatever. But basically, I'm not talking about society should be structured without money or whatever. What I'm saying is definitely without a doubt the money, like there's a huge imbalance when it comes to the money system, and it's not right. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not right. Like people shouldn't have to wake up so early just so they can work at a job or like they're forced to be at, and if they don't show up or if they don't wake up, and they don't show up or they don't clock in to these jobs or to these careers that are so taxing on the body, and because human and like it's just crazy. Hang on, I don't even get all over the place because I have a lot to talk about. But it's just crazy how like, well, first off, the human body needs sleep, and all these workplaces, all these careers, it forces you to lose sleep. It forces you to be sleep deprived because you gotta wake up at 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. depending on how far you work. Gotta wake up extra. And I know a lot of people. I know family members. I know friends. I know people who I met, classmates who had to wake up so early just so they could go to work. They gotta drive traffic, and it's a huge mess while going to college and stuff like that. Like it's not right, man. Like people shouldn't suffer like that. Like we weren't born here to be a slave. You know what I'm saying? This is why this realm, this 3D realm, this earth realm, it's hell. It really is hell. Because first off, we feel pain within the human body, but that's minor. But like, why is it that as human beings, we're born into this world and like we have no fight, we have no say so because we don't know any better as we're kids, as we're like children, and like our parents don't know any better, and they brought us into this world. I mean, I don't want to put too much blame on the parents because I feel like parents at around, especially parents around their like 30s or like late 30s, mid 30s, even late 20s, and they have a kid, they should have the awareness of how corrupt and how fucked up society is. You know how controlling it is. But yet, especially if they're like in middle class or in a lower class, but they still bring kids. Which I understand why parents bring kids. I have nothing against parents who bring kids into this world because life is all about love and they want to express their love and you want to share love, and that's one of the most beautiful things about life is bringing a kid into this world where you can help and guide that kid. But it just seems like most parents in these past generations, they're not doing a good job on raising kids. And like, I don't know, man. It's just not even that. Well, yeah, it is that to a certain extent, but it's just weird how like when you're just like born, right? You're a baby, you're born, you have no conscience, you have no awareness how controlled and sick and evil this world is, how controlling it is. You're just put into this world and you're just like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like kids literally have no fight, they have no say so. These preschools, these kindergartens, these first, second, third grades, these middle schools, these high schools, even colleges, they don't talk about the corruption of this society. They don't talk about how money screws people over. They don't talk about 9/11. They don't talk about wars. I mean, they do talk about wars and battles, but it's just on a fucking textbook. Kids aren't gonna learn on a fucking textbook. And one teacher teaching, kids fall asleep. I remember when I was in school, I used to fall asleep. People used to fall asleep in class. It's not engaging. Show kids videos of like what goes down. I feel like these high schools, these educational systems, they really need to like teach their kids about conspiracy theories or just show them YouTube. Get YouTube Premium, ad free, and let YouTube educate all these kids. In my opinion, that's a lot better than fucking outdated fucking school education and shit. It's outdated. It's from a textbook. It's useless information. It's not engaging. A lot of kids, they seem to be very like, I think it's called visual learners. So like just show them videos, show them conspiracy theories of like 9/11 or like wars and battles that take place, why they take place, you know. Show them how corrupt this world is. Show them how controlling money is. Try to teach these kids how to set themselves up after high school so they can better their lives. Teach them how to work with money and taxes. Teach them how to drive a car. You know what I'm saying? And just shit like that. Where like these schools, they don't teach kids these useful tools they need to learn these days. They don't. Not even these days. They never taught kids these types of information. You know, I left high school and well, I graduated high school in 2016. But I remember when I was in high school, yes, I had good memories from sports, from the people I met, but I always had a hard time with school because I wasn't engaged. I didn't like school gave me a horrible viewpoint of education. School was not about learning, and we all know this. We all know that school, like everyone on the planet knows this. School is not about learning. School is about passing. At least in American, I'm not sure how it is in other countries, but at least in the American school system, it's all about passing. It's not about learning, and that's a huge problem. And I understand they're trying to like make a script or like they're trying to fit the system, but it's just not working. It's just not. You know what I'm saying? And I understand why they're doing the things they're doing, but it's not working. It's better to have kids engaged than to not prepare them for the real world. You know, I understand reading, writing, math, and is it reading, writing, math, and I say speaking and communication. These are the four things that are extremely important that you need in the real world. You need math. You need to learn how to read and write, and you need to learn how to communicate. And that's how you go far in these career fields. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be creative. You gotta be unique, and you gotta be confident, and you gotta have high self esteem. You gotta have high emotional intelligence, and you gotta be mentally healthy, both physically and mentally healthy. You know, in order for you to skyrocket in your career field or just in any area you want in life. You know, take care of your health, mental health, physical health, all that, and also always self-educate yourself. You know, but these schools, I'm not sure how schools teach kids these days, but these schools really need to teach kids the importance of education. They need to teach kids um YouTube or like they need to utilize the internet more often. Like teach kids YouTube. Why can't you have like a big ass projector screen and play some YouTube videos about math, about history, especially history. Learn about corruption or conspiracy theories that takes place in this world. Please, man. Like that's a good ass idea. Not just these subjects, just any subject in general. YouTube, I'm telling you, YouTube is one of the best tools out there for education. Why? Because I've done a lot of studies. I understand school has this stuff too, but mix it with it. Why not mix YouTube and mix like the outdated education bullshit education system with it? You know what I'm saying? So kids will get a good feel for both. What's the word? Both information for education. You know what I'm saying? But this is weird, man. Like just coming into this world, a child, you're clueless. Schools, they don't teach you shit. They don't teach you about this world. They're just useless. Now, once you reach middle schools, they're forced, like you're being forced to learn something you don't want to learn. And even if they do teach you the things you do want to learn, it won't be engaging because of how they teach it. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I used to hate math. I used to hate it so much, and I used to be really bad at it. But now, why is it not that I'm out of high school and I enjoy watching math videos? I love learning about math. Why? Because these videos that I'm learning about is so engaging. But in these high schools, these middle schools, they don't teach like that shit was boring as fuck. There's no videos. It's all printed paper and a pencil. This is outdated shit, man. Like everyone learns different, man. But this is how school is. This is weird. This is I don't know, man. Life is a trip. Life is definitely a trip. We got Chauncey Warren. Yo, what's up, man? How you been, man? Hey, you been watching Face videos? He's fucking hilarious, man. Face is funny, but I really resonate with his videos. I'm actually Face. He actually inspired me to make videos. To be honest, I like how Face. I like how he expresses himself. Like I think you mentioned too. He's real with his videos. He's raw. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I like his videos. He's funny as shit. But yeah, but where was I? But whenever I reflect life, right? It's just so weird. It's so weird how when you're born, right, and then you go to school, you don't know what the fuck is going on because these schools they don't teach you the corruption of this world. They don't teach you about money restrictions. They don't teach you about how society kind of screws you over or the ins and outs of society. Preschools don't teach you that. Kindergartens, first, second, third, fourth. Middle schools don't teach you any of that shit. So by the time you reach, I'll say freshman year of high school, I mean, I feel like people automatically know how corrupt the system is because we all have access to the internet. At least with me, I'm starting, when I was 14, that was when at that age I was starting to research about conspiracy theories, about real corruption, just shit like that. Where I didn't understand it fully, but I had an awareness where there is some evil shit that's taking place. But I feel like schools really need to do a better job. Well, they're not going to do it, but they need to. I feel like they should really keep kids at least give them some type of awareness how evil this world could be. And I'm not saying to install fear, but at least have them make them more prepared. You know what I'm saying? Because the worst thing schools could do, because you never know how parents teach these kids. They can be in family households where maybe their family aren't aware of or they don't know how to teach their kids, and they expect schools to teach their kids. You know what I'm saying? So by they're having families that kind of assume, or they have families that don't really teach these kids how to operate in the real world. What makes you think these schools are going to do it? Because these schools, all they teach you is some outdated bullshit, right? They're not going to teach you about taxes, not even taxes, but just the shit that takes place in this world. They don't teach them that. They don't teach why history takes place or show them videos of the shit that goes down, right? I'm telling you, conspiracy theories, even though it is not real, it's theories. It's interesting. It makes you have an open mind. But schools, they don't do that. And the worst thing that could happen is being an adult and after you're done with school and you have no awareness of this world, you don't know just the ins and outs of it. I feel like it's very important to know how money kind of restricts us and how to make money online, different careers or pathways you could take to make more money. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to have kids come out of these schools and they don't know what they want for their lives. They don't know what they want for themselves. At least that's with me. Cause all I knew was sports after high school. That's all I knew. I didn't know there was other opportunities out there, but school didn't really prepare me for that. Or even they did. I didn't remember, but they're not doing a good job about it. But this is weird. But yeah, but that's all I gotta say about how I view school systems. It's so fucked up, man. They need to make a whole 360 change. if you change these school systems, this generation will be a lot more better. But I don't know. Like I have Twitter and like I see a lot of like school fights and stuff. Like these like students fighting their teachers. This shit's getting crazy. It's part of the energies and shit. But I'm done talking about school systems. Now I'm gonna talk about time speeding up now. I always talk about this shit, but this shit's really got on my nerves, like for real. So like there's so many theories of why people say why time is speeding up. Some people say because again we're ascending or like we're vibrating a lot higher. Therefore, Earth is ascending, vibrating a lot more higher. Some people say it's like the Mandela effect. Um, I think Inoue he mentioned the Matrix system is gonna collapse and they're gonna remake it or just some shit. There's some shit that's going on with the Matrix, but I feel like there's also a scientific reason as well. Like I've heard there's some shit going on with like solar flares within the sun or some shit, or like something happening in the fucking solar system around Earth that's causing the fucking Earth to spin faster. But I feel like I feel like all this shit people mention, I feel like all of it is true because you gotta keep an open mind. But it's a fucking trip. I feel like the average person they are starting to become aware, but they can't grasp it. Like I'd be around people and they're like, "God damn, it's already 11. God damn, I'm already at my lunch break. What the fuck?" Like every single day, like me and the guys I work with, um, they always tell me, or like we always talk about how much the days are going by a lot more faster. Me personally, I don't tell people about like spiritual information or like what I learned. I just kind of go along and like play with them in a bit. Like I kind of give them hints, like, damn, isn't today going by a lot faster? Or like, damn, is it time speeding up today? Like, it's already like our work is almost over, and like people they'll agree with me and like they'll seem so chipped out about it. So it's kind of funny, but it really is a crazy phenomenon. It's insane because like you gotta adjust. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like we get less sleep since time is speeding up fast. I feel like that could be dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Especially people working at these 9 to 5 jobs. That shit could be extremely dangerous. Like people were so used to like let's revert back to like the early 2000s, the late 1990s, mid 1990s, right? When time was a lot more slower. Obviously, people get more sleep since time is slower. But now in this fucking era we're in, this fucking timeline, we'll we'll get what like fucking 8 hours throughout the day. It feels like 3 hours or 4 days in this timeline. So like we're not getting enough sleep. And not only that, but like everyone we're constantly on the go, we're constantly on a rush. Like you can't get if you have goals in life, if you have strong goals, time speeding up is not gonna make you accomplish these goals or have time to even study or work on these goals as much compared to back in the day. But we'll just see how it plays out as we get older, as time goes by. We'll just see how shit will play out. You know what I'm saying? But what time speeding up would have taught me, it definitely taught me how to release control. I'm still struggling with it, but it definitely taught me how to release control, how to release. I'm still pissed off about it, but again, it's all control. It's got to release control. And that's what everything in life. Life happens unexpectedly, shit happens in life, so you just gotta let it go. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Just learn from these situations and do the best you can. But it is what it is. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about sacrifice. I'm gonna talk about um chasing your dreams, going after your dreams, and the amount of sacrifices you have to take in order for you to reach your goals. Now, I'm also going to talk about having faith in the universe, having faith in whoever you believe in. It could be God or any spirit or any belief system you have within the afterlife. So it might be all over the place, but I'm speaking my mind. So usually with me, so at times where like I consider myself to have a strong work ethic, right? But the thing is, at times I'll be around people and I just don't vibe with them. I just don't want to be around with them. You know what I'm saying? Or like for some reason I'm not around like-minded people. So I guess growing up half of my life, not all my life, but half of my life, I was kind of forced to be isolated, not isolated, but like I was forced to kind of be more independent and to rely on more of myself because like um whenever I'm around people, it's like I just don't feel that connection with people. Or like even if I do, it's just like it's just some reckless bullshit. Or like I'm just wasting my time. Or like I'm not evolving in some way, especially as I'm getting older. So it's like it's hard for me to kind of be around people. I'm usually like working out or like working on my goals and shit. So it's like especially as time's speeding up, like I don't got time to bullshit. I don't got time to waste like that. You know. So it's like sometimes I be thinking to myself, damn, like am I missing out on connections or like there's certain people they'll tell me to hang out and like I don't want to hang out with them or like I just ignore them and shit. I'm like, damn man, like am I missing out really or am I making the right decision? But how I look at it is this, right? You just gotta follow your heart, you know. Even if it means like not being around people, well, obviously you gotta be around people because well, I need that connection. But if you're around like people where you don't feel that connection with, it's okay to distance yourself from them. It's okay to like work on yourself. It's okay to improve on yourself, you know. Don't worry what other people are saying. Don't worry what like people say, hey, how come you don't hang out with this? Or like how come you know chill with this here and there? If you deep in the heart, if you know you don't vibe with these people, just get away from them, you know, because you don't want to waste time. Sometimes it's better to like be alone and isolated and to work on yourself than to like be around the wrong types of people. You're just wasting time. I mean, it is good to have fun here and there, but for the most part, if you're just wasting your time, then I feel this is my opinion. I feel like you really shouldn't be around these people, you know. And I feel like the universe or God or whoever you believe in, I feel like they will reward you with like better, more just better overall connections that are with people that are actually on your level, you know. And that's where faith comes in. And this is why I'm going to talk about faith. Sometimes in faith, I know it sounds corny, I know it sounds kind of new age or like religious in a way, but it's true, you know. Like if you're put in situations in life, if you're put in like positions in life where like you just for some reason you're just not around the right types of people or like you're not getting the results you want through career, through like work situations or like through like friendships, through if you're not satisfied in life in general, right? But in your heart, you still have a strong desire to go after for the things you want out of life. Again, and it's common sense. Everyone knows this. That's where faith comes in. That's where you got to believe in yourself. Which is you can do that too. But with me, I like to believe in a higher power. Like for some reason, I have a strong belief that there is a universe, there is a God, there's some fucking being. I can't really explain it. But there's a fucking being, right? Or like a whole universe that watches over me. And at times when I'm not like satisfied with life, or if I'm not around the right types of people, I get pissed off. But like, and I always question God or the universe. Like, why am I around like people that aren't on my level? And I don't mean it as an egotistical way, but this shit does get annoying. Either I'm around like people who are like the opposite of what I like, or like I'm around very like disrespectful, very narcissistic, manipulative people who like just very wicked people and shit. You know what I'm saying? Where like I was forced to like cut them off or like diss myself or like defend myself from these people, right? And I'm always asking the universe or God, like, damn man, like, am I attracting these people? Like, are they a reflection of my own shadow or baggage? Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, is it that hard to attract like-minded people? Why is it that, like I feel connected towards people online? I meet a lot of people online that I feel that close connection with. Yet in person, I'm always around just shitty people. You know what I'm saying? But that's where faith comes in. That's where you gotta be stronger in a way. And that kind of and since I've experienced that a lot, it kind of forced me to become more independent. And that's where you have more strength. Because as you're always alone or independent, eventually you're going to go through soul searching. You're going to figure out what you like, what you don't like from people, but from work situations, from career situations. You're going to figure out your passions out of life. It's a long process. It's even painful because, like, I think that involves ego. So I think you might experience an ego death if you're like constantly not around like-minded people and you're forced to be alone. Yeah, then you're gonna go through like ego death, and then you're gonna do a lot of self-reflection. I think there's both ways to go about it. If you're not, if you just feel different, like in a good way, not in a bad way, but you just like you're just not around like-minded people, or like not satisfied with life. There's two routes you could take. Either you could try to overcome it and try to improve your situation, or you could like fall into bad habits, fall into addictions, and then kind of lower your life pretty much and staying with these lower vibrational people that aren't doing no good for you, but yet you got to act certain, but yet you put on a fake facade or like you're lying to yourself that like you're just pretty much lying to yourself. You're living kind of like in a lie. And I feel like some people can relate to it, or I feel like we all experience this. For like, I feel like we're not settling, but like we're just forced to be around people who aren't at our level. But since we can't find people who are actually on our level, like at times we gotta dumb ourselves down, or like we gotta like just be like, fuck it, you know what I'm saying? This is why sometimes you gotta adjust and shit, you know. Use people to your benefit, but not in a bad way, you know. Trying to learn from people, all the mistakes and the things they're doing, try to observe them and try to be like, yeah, don't follow what they're doing, or like don't become the person they're becoming. Just try to learn from these people. And for example, like if you're around people and like you don't feel that connection spiritually or mentally, you don't feel that mental connection. But yeah, you two just like, or like these friends like to have, they like to party, they like to drink, they like to have fun, and fuck it, why not use people if you feel like having fun or like going out and shit, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by like, just, you gotta use people, like figure out what they're good for and what they're not good for, you know what I'm saying? This is where you use your discernment and use your intuition and shit, you know what I'm saying? But this is why it's so important to know yourself, you know. I struggle with that a lot, but it's a learning process, you know. But I feel like if you're constantly like alone, or if you're struggling a lot in life, or like you just you just seem, again, I'm gonna repeat myself, you seem to be around the wrong types of people, or like you're not getting the results you need through work situations, through career situations, you're not making as much money as you like to, you're always single and shit like that. I feel like that gives you a great opportunity to, one, develop a lot of inner strength, but it also gives you the great opportunity to like have more faith in the higher power. You know, because think about it. If you're so used to being alone, if you're so used to having disappointments, if you're so used to struggling, you're so used to hitting rock bottom. And when you're constantly hitting rock bottom, you got nowhere to go but up, right? There's like a saying for that. And eventually all the bullshit you have to experience eventually is gonna make you more thick skinned. And obviously when people are experiencing rock bottom, of course they're gonna have a strong work ethic, because they're not trying to stay there, because being at rock bottom sucks. And when I mean by rock bottom, it can be in any situation. It can be like if you're not meeting the right types of people, if you're not making enough money, or if you're not satisfied with life in general. That's what I mean by rock bottom. Rock bottom can mean anything where you're pretty much not happy, you're not pleased with your life situation, right? Eventually you're gonna develop a strong ass work ethic the longer you experience that shit, in my opinion. And also going to have a lot of strength, and you're going to believe in a higher power, because think about it, if you're constantly experiencing rock bottom, you're constantly experiencing disappointment and not being satisfied from like a lot of people, and like you're able to intake all the bullshit, and now imagine you getting good results, imagine you reach that success, all that work ethic, all the bad memories, it sticks with you, and now you know what it's like to hit rock bottom. You know what it's like to meet shitty people. You know what it's like to not be satisfied with life. You know what it's like to feel hopeless, and you never want to experience that again. Well, obviously it's life, so like obviously we're all gonna experience that here and there, because that's how life is. Life comes in waves and cycles, but more so you just try to do the best you can, so you don't want to experience that as much as possible, right? And I feel like that can really skyrocket you to become even more successful than the average person who hasn't been as like rougher or tougher situations than you have, you know. And that's how you got to look at life sometimes. Where like if you just feel like life is not fair, or like life is bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Just look at it as a lesson, which I hate when people say that shit, but it is true, you know. This is a life lesson, you know. This is why this human experience, in my opinion, I feel like the human experience, yes, it's good to have fun. It's good to enjoy life, obviously. You know, but I feel like this is my opinion, because everyone's different. We all have different purposes and shit. But I feel like the main purpose of the human experience for everyone is self development and self improvement. I feel like, because think about it, if you're constantly eating unhealthy, if you're not taking care of your body's become more weak, and eventually you're going to get sick. This is why you got to work out. This is why you got to eat healthy. This is why you got to drink clean water and shit. If you don't take a shower for a certain amount of days, your body's gonna stink. That's why it's important for you to have clean hygiene, this and that. If you're not putting yourself out there by like talking to people and shit like that, eventually you're gonna develop bad communication skills, or like you don't know how to talk to people. You're gonna feel social awkward. So this is why you gotta put yourself out there. So I feel like with life, it's just all about getting off your comfort zone and like just it's self development, pretty much self improvement. That what life is all about. It's self development and self improvement, especially as you get older. You know what I'm saying? So that's how life is. It's not easy, man. Like it's a constant like death and rebirth process. You know, like you constantly evolving, you're constantly changing and shit. You constantly got to go through ego deaths, and it's just oh my god, you know what I'm saying? But especially since time is speeding up too. Since time is speeding up, we don't have time to even work on ourselves like that. I mean, we can, but we're in a rush. Now, imagine working at a 9 to 5 job. Imagine having a family. Imagine having like obligations you gotta take care of. Damn, man, like that shit's crazy because life is already rough enough. Like we're like you're human, you're stuck in a human vessel where you feel pain, where you have a nervous system, pain receptors, just like Faye said. You know what I'm saying? Especially with these full moon. I'm not sure if you guys experience this too. Oh, now that I've got two people in live, also I forgot to mention. Feel free to ask a question. I mean, any question you guys want me to talk about, just don't hesitate. You know, I'm just speaking. I'm speaking random shit. You know, but don't hesitate to speak, or don't hesitate to type any questions. You know, but shit, where was I? Damn, I lost track. Where was I? Oh yeah, but since the human body, since we feel pain, right? Um, Sometimes we don't have free will over that because, especially as you get older, your body becomes a lot more fragile, right? When you're 70 or 80 years old, eventually you're gonna need more people to take care of you, which kind of sucks. I'm not sure how that experience is, but I feel like as you get older, you're gonna have more spiritual protection because maybe the universe or God they can clearly see that like the older you're getting, it's a clear indicator that like you're more vulnerable, right? So it makes sense that like you have an increase in spiritual protection, right? But yeah, I can imagine how like just you having no control over your body at times, you know. But it's how it is. But yeah, but since time is speeding up so fast, it's just like it's so hard to have like a strict or like a set schedule. You know what I'm saying? Like me, like I talk about all this in my videos. I'm still trying to figure out. I'm still trying to strategize on how to like adjust the time speed up. Because like I'll be writing a list of set schedules I want to get done. But since time is speeding up so fast, it's like if it fucks everything up pretty much, or like I'll underestimate the days, especially if I have free time. I'll be like, I'll get it done in like 20 minutes or 30 minutes, like an hour. Then the next thing you know, the day is over. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, like where I live in Kansas. So it's 1:53 a.m. It's about to be 2 a.m. Now I woke up at I think I woke up at 8 a.m. Shit, I don't remember what I did to be honest. I studied at a library. I worked out. Um, I think I made a YouTube video and I ate some lunch and shit. And now I'm here. Now the day is pretty much over. You know what I'm saying? And I be thinking like, man, what the fuck have I been doing? You know what I'm saying? But this is how it is, man. Shit's crazy. Next thing you know, it's about to be at what like 10 a.m. shit like that. Like, so this is funny. It's very funny. But I'm gonna talk about soulmates. I'm gonna talk about people who you feel connected to. Now I feel like, well, me, I experience this a lot through the internet. There are times where I have met a couple of close connections, but usually these were like romantic connections. I never experienced. I mean, I've experienced some like close friendships here and there throughout my life, but I'm talking about like a soulmate connection. When I say soulmate, I'm talking about like a friendship, relationship. I'm in like friendship, romantic, just shit like that, right? Um, Man, with soulmate connections, like even meet people from like the same soul tribe as you, this shit's intense, you know? I really can't explain it. It's like a very emotional feeling where like I feel like how I could tell when I meet one of my soulmates or people I feel connected to, especially through the internet, like it's something about their eyes where like their eyes look so familiar. Where I'll look back for the people I'm subscribed to on YouTube, or like I'll look back at like people I feel most connected to through the internet. I remember the first time I'll see them is just like it's like my intuition, like something inside me is like, oh my god, I know you, or like the first time I looked in their eyes and be like, holy shit, like I know this person. This is weird. It's like I feel like this is where you get your like past life experiences and shit like that, or like maybe you two lived past lives together, where you two hung out, or like you two saw each other, and now you're just repeating it in this lifetime and shit. You know what I'm saying? But this is crazy how life is. You know, it's crazy how like how pretty much you're destined to meet like-minded people or soulmates at a certain day or a certain time or at a certain date. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. It's pretty interesting, you know. And soulmates definitely play a huge role in your life, you know. But it's one of the best feelings in the world. I mean, there's different kinds of soulmates. There's karmic soulmates. There's soulmates that are good for you. There's soulmates that are bad for you and shit like that. It's very life changing. But I'm also talking about soulmates who are actually good for you. It definitely is relieving. I feel more relaxed. I feel like everyone needs a lot of soulmates in their lives to get through this bullshit that is around, this bullshit that is society. Since you're being controlled by money, we can't really do shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just weird though. So how the fuck do we have third world countries, right? So we have an upper class, we have a middle class, and we have a lower class. Why the fuck is it that like we have some people who live on the streets, some people are poor, and it's 2023? I mean, I mentioned this beginning of my life, but I'm just repeating it. It's just weird. I don't know. This life is weird, man. Life is very fucking weird. I never understood that at all. And then these schools, they don't teach you shit, and like they don't prepare you as much. You know what I'm saying? And then you got time speeding up and shit. It's like, what the fuck is actually going on? You know what I'm saying? Life is weird, man. Life is weird. But I feel like the more spiritual information you know, or the more you study about spirituality, I feel like it's gonna be a lot more easier for you to navigate through life. Because I feel like since you have so much awareness, now the next goal is to what you want to put your focus on. Now I feel like I'm not sure if other people experience this as well. I'm sure they do, but with me, it's like since I study a lot of spirituality, I watch so much channels. I'm also trying to like be really successful with my career and shit. I feel like my mind's all over the place. Where like, yes, I'm focused on my career, but I'm aware of this realm is bullshit. Like we don't have free will as much, at least in my opinion. But you just got to learn how to put your focus on. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm trying to get at. Since time is speeding up so fast, it's kind of hard to put your focus on one area. Because what I've noticed, at least for me, is since I'm always focused on other shit, it's like if I don't focus on a certain topic or a certain like subject I'm trying to be great at, since time is speeding up, I'm not gonna have any opportunities to put my focus or time on it, and then like it just flies by, and then the days fly by and shit. I'm just like, God damn, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. This is weird. It's weird, man. But I know I'm all over the place. But like I said before, the more spiritual you are, I feel like, and I think it's a fact too, you will do a lot more better in life because, like I said, if you know a lot about spirituality, you already have the awareness of time speeding up. You have the awareness of how to use law of attraction, or you at least know how manifestation works, or like at least the basics of it. You know the importance of healing the body. You know what to feed the body, right? You know how to like meditate. You know the importance of yoga stretching, right? Just like what Face said, he talks about the more full body yoga stretches you do throughout the day, you're gonna release knots and like pent up emotional energy from like trauma, from negative experiences. You're gonna release all that shit. And shout out to Faye for mentioning that, which is true. And now imagine that. Now imagine doing that while doing meditations and deep breathing exercises. Focus on your breath, slowing down your heart rate. Now imagine doing that while exercising, doing no fat, um, eating more fruits and vegetables, just taking care of your physical and mental health. That in itself, these are the key ingredients in pretty much having a successful life, because you have a healthy body and you have a healthy mindset and you have the spiritual awareness of how people are. You also have a lot of awareness of energy. So you know how people at times, you know how they react. So when you're around people who disrespect you, you can understand from a spiritual perspective, like, why is that person disrespecting me? Maybe because one, they're envious, they're jealous, or like they're projecting their insecurities or pain onto you, or like they have like a negative entity or like a lower vibrational entity, like a demon or like a fucking, I don't know, just a negative energy attached to them, try to manipulate them and try to fucking with you. And since you have that spiritual awareness, since you studied so many spiritual channels, you already know how to react from these situations. For the average person who doesn't study about spirituality, what they're gonna do most likely is they're probably gonna retaliate back or fight back with that person, and now that person's in trouble, and maybe that altercation could cause this person's job, it could cause their reputation, or it will put them in a bad situation originally, right? But versus if you have that spiritual awareness, that spiritual knowledge, you're aware that like this person's either projecting or they have a negative entity attached to them. So all you can do is just ignore it, right? And not only that, but if you're in so much pain, if you're experiencing so much trauma and shit from like let's say society, from people just bullying you and shit, you could turn to spirituality. You could heal yourself. You could cry it out. You could like dive deep. You can do a lot of shadow work. And there's YouTube channels who talk about how to heal your emotional body, how to do shadow work. You have channels like New Mind Frame, even I know I mentioned him a lot, but he talks about this as well. This is why he talks about the importance of doing full body stretches every day, meditation. Even I forgot to mention fasting. You don't have to do it. I feel like my opinion, fasting, it depends on the person because everyone's body is different. But let's say your body's accustomed to fasting, right? If your body can take fast, try fasting. That can heal the body. You know what I'm saying? And supposedly a lot of people talk about, well, at least a lot of people say from their own experiences that you actually have a lot of spiritual benefits when you fast a lot. It's like some people, I've heard people say it's easier for you to manifest. Some people say, well, at least from my experiences as well, like I've noticed whenever I fast, I feel more at ease. I feel more relaxed, but it's only for like a couple of days. I can't fast for over 2 days because then that's when I'll get all dizzy. That's when my body will get all shaky because my body's not used to that shit. That's why. But I've noticed whenever I fast, well, first off, when you fast, it's less of a burden because it takes so much time to eat food, and then the days go by a lot faster. But I feel like when you fast as well, you're gonna have a sharper focus. You're gonna have a much. It's gonna be extremely focused. I can't really explain it. I mean, I think scientifically, I mean, it's not scientifically, but from my guess, is that when you're fasting, right, you're first of all, you're focusing on not eating food, right? So it makes sense that since you're putting all your energy on focusing, right, it makes sense that let's say you're taking a math test or like you're studying for like a quiz or some shit, or just anything in general. It's gonna make sense that you have more focus because like your attention is being focused, right? Whereas when you're eating, you're not focused as much. So when you're eating, you're gonna be all over the place or like half-assed and shit, pretty much, right? This is why like, whenever I fast or when I don't eat, but yet when I eat, that's when I'll get distracted easily or like I just feel out of place and shit like that. But yet whenever I fast is when I just seem more focused, right? But like I said, the most I could fast probably like 2 days. That's that. I get extremely hungry. Like I don't know. Like I have a lot of respect for people who fast, man, because that shit takes a lot of discipline. And like I don't know. Let me know if you guys ever how long you guys fasted. But Faye definitely taught me how to fast and shit. That man could do. That man, Faye, he could fast for like I think like 20 days for weeks. So that's pretty impressive. But like he said, as you keep on doing it, your body's gonna get used to it and your body's going to adjust to it. And now you're not going to need as much energy versus eating food or like relying on the food and shit like that. And supposedly you get to manifest. I think he mentioned or other people mentioned that. I forgot, but it's very interesting how like spirituality works. But you see where I'm getting at? We're like pretty much spirituality. The more you study it, the more you learn about it, the more like, in my opinion, it can really help you skyrocket within your life. But in these spiritual channels, these people even mentioned that like sometimes you just can't overthink though. Like you can't put too much thought into spirituality. Where like, this person reacted to me like this or that way, or this situation happened. Is there like a spiritual perspective and why shit like this happens? It is good to use that to a certain extent, but don't overthink it. And these guys did mention that, so shout out to them. For example, repeated numbers. You two watching my videos, I'm assuming. Well, not I'm assuming. I know, like you guys already have awareness of spirituality, especially Chauncey one. I know you watch Faye, so obviously you have a spiritual awareness. So I'm sure you used to see a lot of like repeating numbers, or like 1111, or like 555, or 222. And Faye, he did mention this as well. He did mention that, like, I forgot what he mentioned. Basically, I think he said, like, when you see repeated numbers, is this your mind playing tricks on you, right? He said, I see that number all the time, 96. But also, I feel like I feel like with repeated numbers, I feel like it could be spirit trying to give you a message, or they're trying to send you information. Or I've also heard, I personally had a tarot reader. She mentioned that, like, when you see repeated numbers, um, pretty much what it's saying. Well, at least for me, because for you it might be different. Well, for me, she mentioned that, like, whenever I'll see repeated numbers, it's due to my emotions, or to do how I'm feeling in the present moment. So whenever I see, like, for example, 777, a repeated number, spirit is trying to tell me to stop and pause and just try to regulate my emotions, or try not to overthink some shit like that, or like try to, like, put my focus and redirect into something else. Like, it pretty much meant to, like, keep in the right track whenever if you're distracted, or if you're not, or if you're being reckless, or just some shit. It's kind of like a warning sign, pretty much, if that makes sense. But I feel like repeated numbers can mean anything. But I also feel like, well, I learned this from other people. I feel like you could also manifest repeated numbers as well. My tarot reader said this, and I think Faye mentioned this as well. That, like, like, your mind could play tricks on you, and like your mind could trick you to seeing repeated numbers every single day, or like every single time. So kind of be mindful of that. Just pay attention to your thoughts. But also believe and know that, like, if you see repeated numbers a lot, it can also be spirit trying to send you, like, a message in some way. You know. Um. But yeah. Um. But like I said, like, spirituality, I feel like it will definitely give you, like, an upper hand in life. It depends. You just got to use it the right way, because I think with spirituality, it talks about the good sides of life. Well, it talks about good and bad, and I understand it's a duality thing. There's no good or evil. It's how it is and shit. Like, we're all programmed and shit. I understand it, but you guys do what I'm saying. Like, spirituality, it gives you a full understanding of, like, human psychology, how this world works, and like, one of our main purposes. This is how human psychology works, and how energy works. You know. And he said, "Yeah, I've gotten 3 to 3. He's telling me to not be too upset about what other people might be saying, or that a situation involving relationships." Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I see. Like I mentioned, like, it's like a warning, pretty much. But yeah, but for the most part, but just the fact that you have that awareness, that, like, that the repeat numbers you're seeing, it's trying to warn you to not be too upset about what other people might say or think about you, or any situation, like you said, involving relationships that seems positive or negative. Yeah, at least just the fact that you have that awareness, that spirit is trying to send you a message, or like it's a warning. You're pretty much in the right track. And now he's got to take action. It's easier said than done, because I still struggle. Well, at least me, like me, I struggle a lot with, like what you mentioned, or like, we're like, I'm worried about what people might think or say about me, or just controlling, or like regulating my emotions and shit. But then that's good news, that you're definitely in the right track. Like, you have that awareness. Like, you're aware of, like, spirits trying to send you a message, and like, you're aware of, like, which direction to take, and how to, like, redirect or focus your energy on. So that's definitely a good sign. So good shit, man. Good shit. And you're 22 years old too, so, like, you're young. So that's good. That's definitely good. But yeah, so basically, well, at least from my advice, if you guys want to hear my advice, just when it comes to spirituality, try to learn the most you can, but don't overthink it. Also, don't isolate yourself as well, because I feel like, well, my situation might be different from you guys, but, like, um, since you guys study a lot about spirituality, I feel like at times it's going to be hard to, like, not connect with people, because when you're into spirituality, it's gonna be easier for you to connect with people, because you know how the human psychology and energy works. But, and especially since you have more of awareness, but I feel like since a lot of people they don't know too much about spirituality. Um, but you guys do. Just don't get discouraged or like don't get like angry or upset or frustrated. I know it kind of sucks. Or like you're just around people who don't know about spirituality. They don't have no awareness. Like or either that or like they're gonna look at you like you're crazy. I know how frustrating that can be, or like it feels very like you feel like outcast or like isolated in a way. But if you guys do experience that, because I know some people do, I know I've experienced that, but for you guys it may be different. But if you guys do feel like that, just know that you're not alone. Just know that all the things that goes around your mind or like how you view life is not weird at all. Like you're not alone and it's not taboo. Like it's very like it's a gift in my opinion because can you imagine a lot of people like just imagine I feel like it's a gift and I feel like also feel like it's a curse of not having spiritual information because think about it just think about this shit we're talking just think about all the channels that talk about spirituality like when it comes to spirituality there's so much things you can learn from like repeating numbers their meaning you can learn about your zodiac signs you can learn about past lives you can learn theories about like this world how this world works like energy you can learn about like you learn about health you learn about how to take care of the human body and the human mind if you're going through a tough situation you know how to take care of yourself because of spirituality you know the points of shadow work of try to release your traumas your insecurities and shit you know what I'm saying you have more of awareness and I feel like that in itself is a gift you know and just knowing that like there are a lot of people out there that they don't know about spirituality. This is why, like, I noticed this too. I could be wrong, but I've noticed there's like a pattern. So have you noticed people who don't know too much about spirituality, they tend to eat very unhealthy. And I'm not trying to sound judgmental because none of us is perfect. But I'm just saying it overall. Like, have you noticed, like, people who aren't in spirituality or like they don't have awareness of spirituality, they tend to eat very unhealthy, or either that, or like they don't take better care of their bodies, or like they don't know how to like overcome at times tough situations. I mean, they do, but like they don't know like the importance of shadow work, or like they don't know how to dive deep, or like they're just they don't have as much awareness. They're just being controlled by like either their addictions or like their programming and shit like that. They don't question as much. But when you're into spirituality, even if you're not taking care of your body, at least you have an awareness or you know the consequences of not taking care of your body. You you know what I'm saying? That's why spirituality, in my opinion, is a gift, you know? Now you just gotta it depends how you use it, you know what I'm saying? It's a gift. And like if you know about a lot about spirituality, try to do the best you can to help spread the information, like try to help other people out, you know what I'm saying? But it gets complicated with spirituality. I feel like I'm not trying to make it sound like a label, you know, like new age spirituality. Like I'm not trying to make it sound like a label because spirituality, in my opinion, like my definition of like spirituality is pretty much unlimited information that is meant to improve your life. That's my definition of spirituality, pretty much, because it's true, you know. And I feel like spirituality is about perspective as well, you know. It depends how you look at it. I would use an example, but I'm gonna catch my breath real quick. I'm tired. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I feel like even the sign the moon isn't definitely affects everyone. Like when the moon is in Scorpio, I see people tend to be more suspicious of others. Yeah, see, that's interesting. See, like me, like I actually didn't know that. It's actually pretty cool. You're a smart guy, Ruby Rooster. Very good shit, man. I'm read it again. Yeah, exactly. I feel like even the sign the moon is in definitely affects everyone. Like when the moon is in Scorpio, I see people tend to be more suspicious of others or secretive. Yeah. hmm I know. I'm experiencing that too. You know. Well, I have a moon in Scorpio, so I'm naturally like that. But I didn't realize the moon in Scorpio. Yeah, I've noticed this too. People around my area, they tend to be more secretive, suspicious too. Like they're just so like on edge and shit, you know. Yeah, shout out to you, man. Shout out to Ruby Rooster, man. Yeah, shout out to you. But I guess my advice is almost that's cool. Taurus is nice. Heck yeah, Taurus. You definitely have to be messed with. I've heard a Taurus is like if you piss them off, like you're gonna regret it. Taurus is a cool sign. It's an Earth sign. I'm a Sun sign in Virgo, so we definitely get along. Like Taurus is dope too, cause like I like how Taurus are, cause Taurus like they don't. What I know about Taurus is like very laid back. Like they don't let their emotions control them, or like they don't let people's bullshit kind of affect them as much. And like they're just more cool, calm, and collected. That's what I know about Tauruses. And like there's a definition for Tauruses too. Like they tend to be like cool, calm, and collected. They're very down to earth, and like they're materialistic, not in a bad way, but in a good way. Like they know the importance of like with Taurus, I feel like they understand the importance of like grounding yourself, but they also have an appreciation for like life. They have appreciation for like physical things, like materialistic items, like the importance of looking nice, the importance of like take care of yourself, like clothes, um, shoes, just stuff like that. And that's what I like about Taurus is very down to earth. It's pretty cool. Um, and I know there's more to Taurus too. I've got to learn more about it, but Taurus is awesome. I like Taurus. The thing about Taurus too, the Taurus are very easy to get along with because I know people personally who are Tauruses, and like they're very easy to get along with. Very cool people, very down to earth. I feel like everyone's cool with Taurus because there's I can't explain it. Like they're just laid back and chill. That makes Taurus pretty cool. We got three people in the chat. Damn, that person came in late. Yeah, Rooster. Oh yeah, I'm. Oh, so you're a Pisces sun and a Taurus moon. Damn. Okay. Very. You seem like a very like chill, laid back, cool person. And I'm gonna read what you say. Oh yeah, I'm a sun in Pisces, and I definitely helps me balance my emotions and me being right. Yep. Mm-hmm. Exactly. I feel like that's an interesting placement. Pisces sun, Taurus moon. Because with Pisces, yeah, very yeah, like you said, like it helps ground your emotions, especially when someone pisses you off. Like Taurus, they tend to get pissed off. I mean, rightfully so, because like I said, Taurus they're very chill and cool people, right? But eventually, when someone like piss them off, yeah, they're gonna get angry. It's a natural human emotion, right? With that Pisces, I feel like with that Pisces sun, it could really ground you and stuff. I feel like it's spiritual placement too, having a sun in Pisces. So it's pretty interesting. So like, so your sun signs in Pisces. So like Pisces, they're known to be very spiritual, right? And Taurus is they're known to be very like down to earth, materialistic. So I feel like it's a good balance. I feel like it's definitely easy for you to ground yourself as well with that Pisces sun, and you know, and you mentioned it too, where like it helps you balance your emotions with that Pisces sun. So that's interesting, very interesting. But yeah, I'm gonna kind of give like a quick overview since we have a new person on the live. I'm not sure what this is, but basically, when you're more when studying spirituality, right? When you're more into spirituality, or how to like improve your life, or how to have more faith in life, right? Just know that one, life is temporary. So the average human being will pass away or die around like 100 or 90 or 80. Some people pass away when they're like 60. You know how young that is? Me, I'm 25. So like in less than 130 years, I won't even be here. You know what I'm saying? And it's very temporary. So that in itself should give you all the confidence in the world to go after your dreams, to do the things you enjoy doing. Don't let people's expectations or how they view you and how you should live your life. You know what I'm saying? Do what makes you happy. Obviously, don't be reckless or like you're harming other people and like you're getting yourself into trouble. But at the same time, don't be afraid to take risks. Always improve your life. Always do the best you can, and take time to enjoy life. Take time to like relax too. I feel like I could be wrong, but I feel like with my channel, always I feel like I'm always on edge, or like I'm always talking about self help, but also just take time out of your day to like enjoy life. Like, and I know you guys know this. I know all this is common sense. I'm just saying it, because I'm kind of talking to myself anyway. But like, just take time every day to go to the park, Go outdoors, go in nature, just take a deep breath, just enjoy the present moment. Don't take your phone with you. I mean, I'm sure you guys need your phones wherever you go, because like for like emergency shit. But like if you have the opportunity, try not to take any electronics with you. Even go for a run or for a walk, for a jog. Take a deep breath. Just especially it's getting hot now, so it's summer, right? Not summer, but it's getting there. It's getting hot. So take time every day to look at the sky, look at the clouds. I know it sounds kind of corny, but it's true. Just always take time every day to look up in the sky, especially at nighttime too. Look at the stars and shit like that. I know it seems kind of childish, but it's true though. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta enjoy life's creation in a way. Also be thankful. Have a lot of gratitude too. I got you, bro. I'm about to reach your question. I got you, brother. Hang on, but always have gratitude too, because like just know that like you always be put in a worse situation. I'm not saying to bypass your problems or your struggles, but what I am saying is um just know that like you can always be put in a very fucked up worse situation. For example, like you could be missing legs, you could be missing an arm, you could be deaf, you could be blind. You could be in prison, you could be in jail. You know what I'm saying? Every single day someone messed up their life by like making a poor decision, like such as like driving drunk and like killing two people, or like, and now they're sentenced to life in prison, or like someone who like committed a murder and now they're sentenced to prison. You know what I'm saying? So like, just be thankful. Yes, this world may be bullshit. Yes, there may be shitty people. Yes, at times we're forced to do things we don't want to do, like waking up early and going to work. But at least we're not in a third world country. At least we're not. At least we have a roof over our head. At least we have food. At least we have water. Because imagine living a life and being dehydrated. You know how much that will suck. Imagine living a life without food. It's gonna suck. So don't take life for granted. Now back to you. Yeah, like I feel like Scorpio moon kind of gets me out of my shell. I noticed it with my mom, who's a Scorpio moon too, because I feel like water is a little more party like. Because, interesting. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you definitely have interesting placements. You mentioned your mom is a Scorpio moon too, so I'm sure you two have a very close connection, and I'm sure you two can relate to each other very well. You two definitely have a potential to have a very deep, strong bond, especially when it comes to emotions, where like you two could definitely understand each other. You two could understand why you guys do the things you do. Because with that Scorpio moon, like it definitely yeah. Wait, oh wait, no, I'm tripping. My bad, my bad. No, you're Taurus moon. I'm sorry. I'm tired, my bad. No, but your mother's Scorpio. Yeah, but still no, but you two can obviously you two can still have a strong bond because you're a Pisces sun and she's a Scorpio moon. What I've heard is that like Pisces and Scorpios, these two placements are one of the most intense and deepest water signs to have out there. So and plus you have a Taurus moon, so that means you can actually ground your mother since she has a Scorpio moon. Scorpio moons are very intense because I'm also a Scorpio moon. And like at times we could get very like imbalanced, or like we could be on edge and shit like that. Or, like we tend to overthink. We're very like emotional, and since you have a Taurus moon, I wouldn't be surprised if you're like it's so easy for you to like soothe your mother or to help calm her. You know what I'm saying? So those are interesting placements. I feel like water is a little more party. Yeah, water is a yeah. The thing is like, well, based on my studies, I feel like in order for you to make like a water sign comfortable with you, I mean, to get water signs off their shell and to be party like is if they feel extremely comfortable with you. You know what I'm saying? And since you have a Taurus moon, since Taurus are pretty down to earth, you two definitely have a good connection, strong chemistry. Yeah, you guys are like water Taurus. Yeah, you guys are like water Taurus. Essentially, you both have the edginess. Yeah, see, like you already know what I'm talking about. Like you can already relate. Yeah, especially like when people try you or like it gets annoying. I know. I get some money. But it's cool. It's just funny because like I know a lot of people who are like Tauruses and like they're actually really cool people. And definitely not to be fucked with. So shout out to you, man. But I'm about to head out. It's already 2:25 a.m. Sheesh. It's been an hour. I didn't realize it's like an hour long already. But yeah, shout out to you, Ruby Rooster. You take care, man. Make sure you keep doing what you're doing. Keep staying the right path. Always have gratitude, and thank you so much, man, for joining the lives. I really appreciate you, man. Yeah, take care, man. I'm not sure what time it is in the area, but if it's nighttime, then you have a good night, Or if it's morning, you have a good morning. And take care. And again, thank you so much. Peace out, bro. Yep. Peace.